Hello, what's going on? This is Joe Valdes from Malibu Music, and I'm here in the shop today to introduce to you this awesome pedal that is made in the Philippines. This is called the Shredhead, and this is personally my favorite distortion pedal. But as you'll see soon enough, it's way more versatile for a lot of things than just like straight ahead metal. It comes in this red color, but you'll eventually see it in blue throughout the duration of the video. That gives you a hint. We've got blue and red versions of this pedal, and I think one other color. It's got the on and off switch. It features a volume. This volume knob works exactly like your volume knob on the guitar. If you go all the way to 0, you won't have any sound coming out. We have the gain knob, which is your de facto how metally and how drivey you want it to sound. The tone knob acts kind of like the tone knob on a guitar. If you go all the way up, it's super duper trebly, and then it gets more dark as you reduce the tone. And then the presence knob is kind of like an extension of the tone knob. It just gives it a little more oomph the more you bring it up. So that's what the 4 knobs do. The other neat thing about this pedal that I really like is this option for how much power you put into it from your power supply. So you can put your traditional 9-volt power supply in, which is I think the bare minimum for most pedals if that's all that you've got. However, if you take a close look at your options here, it says you can go from 9 volts to 18 volts, which I think is pretty sick. We're actually trying this feature right now on the version of the pedal that we have on our pedal board here, because the Pedal Power 3 Plus has a feature where you can crank one of the pedals if you want up to 12 volts. So we're cranking the Shredhead up to 12 volts for this video. So as you can guess what this thing does, it's called a Shredhead. It's a very good Marshall in a box, in my opinion. And I've been using one for years. Only available through Malibu Music, by the way. So yeah, let's go through the features of the Shredhead, and let me walk you through what it can do tone-wise. And let's get into it. For reference, let me show you what my clean tone sounds like. So I'm running this Shabbat Linux through a Gibson Falcon 20 amp in channel 1. Very nice, clean tone. Yeah, that's the bridge pickup. Here's pickup selection 2. Number 3. That's the middle pickup. Number 4, going towards the neck pickup. That's nice. I like that one. And finally, just the neck pickup. So those are some clean tones. Now here is that tone with just the Shredhead. There's no other pedals on. And I'm pretty sure the reverb is completely off on the Gibson Falcon 20, and the tone is pretty high up because we're going for a trebly sound here, because we'll eventually want to metalize that tone. So here is the Shredhead on, and everything's at 12 o'clock. That's pretty distorted already. That's the kind of tone I would use for church, honestly, if I'm trying to have enough drive, but not enough to where my worship leader is going to look at me and be like, dude, it's too metal. This is the kind of tone I would use for a lot of the pop punk stuff that I grew up with. It gives you an idea of my childhood. So for example, like Stacy's Mom. That riff. Or American Idiot. Yeah, so that's enough distortion to do a lot of the punk rock stuff. Yeah. So as you can clearly hear, that's pretty powerful already. The challenge for the kind of pedal like this is, it's clearly a distortion pedal. I mean, it's a heavy distortion pedal. It's meant for heavy rock like Van Halen, that type deal. Let's see if we can turn it more into like a drive tone. So I have some settings here that we're gonna set the pedal to match more like a drive sound, which is kind of, in my opinion, like a lighter distortion. Drive is more the tone you want to go for if you're playing blues, and lighter stuff like your B.B. Kings and John Mayers and whatnot. So let's see if this is a little more convincing as a drive tone here. This is also the kind of thing where you want to learn how to really play with the gear you have. Messing with the knobs ideally should get you to the tone where you're satisfied, even if you don't quite have the right amp or pedal or guitar. If you learn how to mess with your pots and your tone knobs on whatever you've got, typically you should be able to mimic most sounds that you're going for. So let's see, let's push the limits of the pedal. Let's go for a lighter drive tone. See, that to me is quite convincing as a drive tone. If it had a lot of gain, it wouldn't stop right away. It would howl and feedback. Yeah, so that's pretty convincing. Let's try a John Mayer riff. So that was this drive-ish tone going through the Shredhead and with your pickup selection on selector 4. That was actually pretty good, to my ears anyway. Let's try a different John Mayer riff. This time we'll go to pickup selection 3. Try. A different riff. That's pretty convincing to me. That's a pretty convincing drive tone. That's very impressive, honestly. I did not think the pedal would be able to do that, because typically for my own playing, for my own Shredhead, I don't use a Shredhead for the drivey stuff. I have a dedicated drive pedal that I use for the bluesy stuff, for the lighter distortion stuff, and the Shredhead's the straight ahead metal one. But this sounds really good to my ears. Let's try one more riff that you guys might be familiar with. Nice drive tone. So that's a lighter version of distortion that the pedal's actually capable of. It's pretty impressive. So yeah, that's honestly, that makes it, to me, even more convincing that's a great pedal, because it's not just for the straight ahead metal stuff. However, let's go ahead and do just that now, because we got to do something that will feature what the pedal does after its namesake. So let's go ahead and push this to its limit as far as distortion is concerned. So for me personally, you have a good metal tone when your palm mutes really chug, and every single palm muted note feels like a punch in the face. So Todd's laughing because you want the chugs to be. See, that's super powerful to me. If you can do that with your distortion pedal, you've got a really, really good one. If you cannot chug with your distortion pedal, get a new one. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Let's see how much we can push this thing. Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty metal-y to me. Let's play a bit more. Do some of the whittly because of course last harmonic was awesome. If your pedal can make your guitar wail like that with a pinched harmonic, you've got a good pedal, in my opinion. So yeah, that's the Shredhead with the chugs. Now here's a little secret weapon that I like to do. This is something I discovered with the many, many hours I've spent in the merch shop trying to entice customers to come into the merch shop so that I can lead them to this main store that we're in right now. This Shredhead is fantastic as a clean boost. So if we turn the gain down as low as possible, and even the tone and some of the presence. And we'll put the volume up a little. You have a very convincing clean sound, but it sustains as if you've got a lot of gain on. Let's put a little more juice there. I mean, normally if your guitar is on clean, to me it shouldn't sustain like that, but the pedal does a good job sustaining your clean tone, and that is a huge plus. That means you can use the pedal to play clean leads with notes that can go on a little longer than typical. It sounds super nerdy, but that's a huge advantage, because if you want to play a note longer because you want to sit on it a little longer and put some vibrato on it, it even there's a little feedback there that was awesome. To me, that's a very convincing, clean lead sound. Very useful, like I mentioned, because it gives you that sustain, and even if you hit the spot right, as you clearly heard, you'll end up with a little feedback. And if you're a guitarist, we always like a little feedback. There's not a lot of pedals that will effectively do a clean boost. And as you may know, doing that type of stuff, when you have a completely dry tone and it's mostly clean, it's very hard to do the shreddy stuff on a completely clean guitar. But because we have the advantage of the pedal on a very, very low distortion setting, like extremely low, it gives us a little bit of that sustain, and we can do some of the legato stuff a little easier, and it's a little easier to pick. I really like that about the Shredhead. You have a good pedal if the shreddy stuff that you're trying to play through the distortion pedal is easier to play. You want a pedal that makes the notes that you're trying to play feel more like butter, like the fast stuff is not as much of a struggle. If you got a pedal that's doing that, you got a good pedal, and to me, the Shredhead is doing that very well. And that is the breadth of tones that is capable through the Shredhead. We did some like mid-range distortion, light drive, and then the heavy stuff, and then we've got the pedal as a clean boost. To me, that's a winner pedal, because it's doing it all for you in one box. It's not just a Marshall in a box, but it's also very dynamic. It's doing a wide variety of tones for different genres. Winner pedal. So, only available here in Malibu Music, which, by the way, that brings me to our sale. So this here pedal is on sale for the year 2024 up until Black Friday, November. A bunch of products here, and not just the pedal, but not just pedals, but guitars, banjos, mandolins, whatnot. They're all on sale, and a lot of them are 50% off, although pedals are at 25%. That brings the price down to about $111.75 for this pedal, coming down from $149. So that gives you a great deal on a very versatile pedal, and mind you, it comes in blue and red, so you're not just you don't have the choice of just one color, but two colors. In fact, I think there's an orange version, if I'm mistaken. You will see the edit soon enough here if I'm mistaken about the orange version. But yeah, so it's on sale. So please come and visit Malibu Music. This pedal from the Philippines is only available in the States here at Malibu Music, and it's on sale like a bunch of our other items. You'll have to walk in for the Gibson deals to the store, but a lot of our items, mostly, you can look online and you'll see the sale right there. You'll have to come in again for deals on Gibsons, but this pedal for sure, 25% off. puts you at $111.75. Please come and visit Malibu Music and get the Shredhead, the most convincing Marshall in a box that I've ever used personally. And it also does clean stuff, by the way. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you around. God bless. Peace.